my name is Stephanie Kilgast and I am a contemporary artist. It's been a long time that I haven't made an update on my channel simply because I have been crazy busy the last month and I finally found my path, my artistic path, so to speak. So now I kind of know where I'm going and this is this is good. This feels very liberating. And it also helps me to find ways again to earn money, because this year was a bit of a financially unsound year. Artistic research takes a lot of time and you cannot really earn a lot of money while you do it, which is fine. But now I know what I'm interested in, and it is the dialogue between human-made objects and natural growth and natural, crazy, erratic, lush, very colorful and often kind of surrealistic growth. And I like to play on the feeling of post-apocalyptic, so a world where there is no human anymore, or we don't really know what if or not, but I never like to work with humans, so I never sculpt humans. However, you have those human objects, and then on these human objects you have all those mushrooms and plants and eyed daisies that grow on them. And it's I'm kind of surfing a bit between something that looks like a fairy tale because of those lush colors, and at the same time it's kind of nightmarish. And I really like that. And I also play around with the eyes and the plants that look at us. So that's why it's a feeling of post-apocalyptic, but at the same sense, I feel this, for me, there's a real dialogue between these sculptures that kind of represents nature and us as a viewer. The roles are reversed, so it's the sculpture that looks at us and ask us, so what are your plans for the future? Are you going to continue like that and destroy everything, or are you going to get your shit together? So that's kind of the idea of everything. Since the base of that is very clear in my mind, I don't have to question every time I do an artwork, is it good? Am I on the right path, or should I change everything again? Because I have that systematic approach of human-made object and crazy surrealistic growth. I can dive into something else, dive into emotions, or just something that is fun and a little bit lighthearted. And that is really good because I can produce, so to speak, a stronger portfolio while not getting crazy every time. So I also worked on emotions, on personal emotions, and I started a series that I called I Can, very spiritual, where I systematically take tin cans, so trash. It's actually my own trash because yes, some foods come in cans like canned tomatoes and chickpeas, and I use those cans, and onto them I will play around with emotions. So it might be about passion. I made one about passion where it's all red with mushrooms growing out, and it's very fierce somehow, which I sold, by the way, so yay! And then my latest one was about anxiety, so it's kind of blue with that wire that goes around all those mushrooms and then strangles the mushrooms so they can't breathe anymore, because when I feel anxious I just have difficulty breathing. So I try to express all the things through the same systematic approach, and so my work has become more interesting in the last month, a lot more interesting, and as a result it also shows in how I approach galleries and art calls, and I get a lot more positive feedback now. So I have won an award, 3 so to speak. So the American Art Awards, I won place 4, I think it was 4, 5 and 6. I also got selected for a collective exhibition in France, in Strasbourg, twice, and another one, an online exhibition. They have a really good blog for artists on how to be a better artist, how to market your art, and they have very good CEO rankings, so you tend to come on their website again and again, and they have monthly art calls and monthly exhibitions, international exhibitions. And so I got selected for one of these online exhibitions, so that happened. But I also got selected for another online exhibition that is going to be very soon at Gallery 25. That theme is red, the other one was nature. I'm sorry, it's kind of confused, but so much happened. And next week I am traveling to London because I have been selected to a collective exhibition in a small gallery called Atom Gallery. And the opening is the 8th of December, so I will be there. So if you are in London, maybe come and meet me, that would be nice. Yeah, so as you see, a lot is happening. Financially, it's still kind of a disaster because sculpting takes time and it's a lot more difficult, of course, to sell art than jewelry, which I am completely aware of. So the last weeks I was a bit in an anxious state of mind. I was really trying to make money at all costs and kind of trying so many things, and I've recently put some of my artwork on Society 6 and kind of revived my Redbubble shop. I also have now prints on demand on my own website because yes, I forgot to tell you that, but I also started to work on watercolors, kind of just for fun. In the beginning I just felt that I needed something easy to make every day, just to kind of unwind, because I've been sculpting so much and putting so much of myself into my work. I've been working really hard. I've always tend to overwork myself, but I feel like the last month I have been a little bit desperate to improve faster, and so I worked really hard, and that's fine because artistically speaking I've really evolved a lot this year, so that's good, but it's also exhausting. And so painting was this bubble of easiness, this bubble of joy that came into my life where I was like, oh, that's so easy and fast to do, and it's so nice to brush. I've always painted before, so it's not something that is completely new, but I think I'm more of a sculptor naturally and really like to sculpt. But painting has been that new kind of gem into my life, and I really enjoy painting. And for me, painting is really like holidays, when I don't really feel like working but I still want to do something creative. In 1 or 2 hours I can make a painting, which is impossible to do with a sculpture. I need at least 2 days to make a decent looking sculpture. And since I made those series of always on the same theme, human-made object and sculptural, and that kind of natural growth on top, but in watercolor painting, and I've put them up in print-on-demand shops. So I'm on Society 6 under the moniker Petit Plat as usual, and also as Petit Plat on Redbubble. And yeah, it's been good. I mean, no, it's not been good, but I was surprised actually that on Society 6 I did sell a few things already, even though I did promote it, but not very aggressively, and I don't have a lot of things there, and it's not super coherent because I have photography of my sculptures and the watercolor paintings. It's kind of a mixture of everything I am, which is not something you should do when you have a shop, I know that. But I'm at that point where I'm kind of trying out what will work or not. I also worked on patterns. I really like the idea of print-on-demand shops. So it's something that I kind of want to work out better, because if I can have that rolling and I can sell a decent amount of stuff every month, that on top of the little bit I earn on YouTube, plus the Skillshare stuff and the patrons, that I have kind of a monthly salary that is like the minimum I need just to get by, and then I can focus on I don't like to say my calling, but I really think that my strength is in doing art. And so all that stuff is okay to earn money, but I think my art is a lot more interesting than me explaining how to make mushroom earrings, which by the way is my latest Skillshare class. Just putting it out there. If you're interested in learning that. I'm a little bit all over the place. And I must admit, I'm completely exhausted. This week I kind of forced myself to get out of my house because I work from home. So just to get out and to go for a walk and not to work, because I tend to work every day, weekend included, and to work really late, which also pushes me to have slight insomnia issues, which is not good. So I've been kind of a mess. I've been kind of a mess these last weeks. I don't know, I really need to calm down, because to be fair, it's going good. Financially not, that's true, but my art is going in the right direction. I'm getting slowly the exposure I need to make it grow. I feel more and more confident, so I just need to focus on my artwork and keep going. That also means that I'm really excited to go to London next week. I'm leaving on Friday and I come back on the Monday after, so it's just a full weekend and about a little bit more than half a day. So it's not much, as my mom pointed out, but that's not much. And I'm like, yeah, but more is more expensive. So, but I'm really, really happy to go to London, because it's one of these cities, it's one of my favorite cities, just after Berlin, which will ever be my favorite city, I think. But it's a city I really like, which I feel is very artsy. And when I think about it, I got a lot of good things happening for me in London over the years. I don't know if you remember, but the Food Network did a bunch of interviews with me back in 2015, I think. I've done some Christmas markets there, and now that exhibition. So I feel like London, it kind of likes me and kind of likes my work, and I might find good connections in London for my artwork more than in France, for instance, which I feel like France has never been a good match for me, probably because I never grew up here. I was born and raised in Germany, although I'm French, and I don't really like the French art market as a whole. I'm not inspired by it. Most of the time, the things I see, I don't really connect to them. And when I see what is done overseas, in the UK or especially in the US, I love so many artists that are American based. There's something happening for me in that kind of art, and so naturally I think that my kind of art might work better on these sides more than in France. I'm probably going to try and see how it goes in Berlin as well, because my mom is still living in Berlin, although she really wants to go back to France at some point, and I really want to go to Berlin next year. I want to call it an art residency at my mom's because that's really what it's going to be, unless I get another opportunity in terms of art residency. But I really want to go to my mom and stay there at least a month, but more likely 6 to 8 weeks, and just stay in Berlin, work in Berlin, and then try to connect to local artists and local art galleries and just see if something can be done, as I easily can go regularly in Berlin because my father and my stepmother also live there. And I really want to live in Berlin, and not just in winter, because I did that once, but it was fall winter. It was the winter of 2009, and it was one of the coldest winter ever in Berlin. It was really freezing. So I hardly got out, and at the time I was more interested in making miniature food jewelry and making it work financially. And now I'm a lot more interested in going out and connecting with artists and art galleries and see if there's a possibility to sell my artwork. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I know it's going to be a longer video, probably something like 15 once I cut out all the crap. It was nice to chat with you. I didn't do that for a long time. I don't always feel the need to share, I guess. I share weekly on my blog, but I feel like doing this one-on-one video thing is something I never really gotten into. I'm probably too old for YouTube. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I talked about the upcoming exhibition in London, so come and meet me on the 8th of December. It's going to be 6 p.m. It's Atom Gallery. I'm going to link everything down below just in case. I've talked about the various awards, which I'm really happy about. I don't know how much they are worth, but that's fine. And I talked about all the recent artworks I made, so I think I covered it pretty much all. Let me also know what kind of video you want to see on this YouTube channel, because honestly, the tutorials, etc., I don't see myself doing them anymore on YouTube. I might do speed sculpting, but it's such a pain to make them. It's really complicated to sculpt while being filmed. When I sculpt, I will take the sculpture in my hand and will sculpt and will get back and move and go there and then go up, and then my cat is going to come and then I'm going to move it all the time, and I'm alone. When I film, I have to be like this, and I can't move. I need to stay focused, and that's just not how I sculpt. So it's something that is extremely unnatural. It's always been kind of difficult for me to do this. With the miniatures it was a bit easier because since it's very small it was easier to do it, and honestly making miniatures so much faster than making a sculpture. So I started this bear. It's absolutely not finished, but just the head that took me a few hours, and I still need to texture the whole body. And the sculpture is not done at all. There's going to be mushrooms and stuff. So this is already one day of sculpting, and I'm probably going to need at least 1 or 2 more to finish it. So let me know what kind of videos you want to see on this YouTube channel. If you want to see more of this kind of videos where I talk about my daily life. I've been thinking about reviews as well. I honestly don't know. I feel kind of lost, to be honest, about this YouTube channel, because it was something I kind of started in the beginning. It was all part of my artistic research. So when I started it, it was to sculpt whatever I wanted, put it online as a speed sculpting, and if it was going to earn me some money, then it was good, because then I would have like kind of a monthly thing that I would earn, and that was amazing. And then it grew into something huge and kind of weird at some point, where I got more than 1 million views on some of my videos out of nowhere. And then YouTube changed again, and so now I'm getting very little views, whatever I do. And so I didn't really want to keep doing tutorials because it's a lot of work, and I feel like it would be easier to sell them, and it would be financially more sound. So this is kind of the goal for next year, to make a few tutorials and put them on my website. And so YouTube is left with a bunch of speed sculpting, and I don't know. This video is kind of a complete mess. I hope you're fine with that. I just kind of shared what I had on my mind. I hope you enjoy that. If not, I'm really sorry about that. Don't insult me if you're not happy. Just go your own way. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, and I will see you hopefully in my next video. Bye! This is going to be a rambling video.